Hey mathematicians, our lesson today is on multi-digit multiplication using the lattice method. Our TEK is 4.4D, use strategies and algorithms including the standard algorithm to multiply up to a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number and to multiply a 2-digit number by a 2-digit number. Let's go ahead and read our learning goal together. Today I am learning how to multiply multi-digit numbers so I can estimate and solve real-world problems. I'll know I have it when I can define and identify factor and product, explain that multiplication is the same as repeated addition, choose a strategy to use to fluently multiply 4 by 1 digit and 2 by 2 digit multiplication problems. Let's look at our real-world connections. Why do you need to know how to multiply multi-digit numbers? We know multiplication is a shortcut for counting equal groups. This skill is important for many real-life situations, including baking. Baking is a precise science. If you want to double, triple, or even quadruple a recipe, you'll need to make sure you know how to multiply. One wrong calculation and you'll be feeding your baked goods to the birds. Another real-life example would be having a barbecue or any type of event where you want to feed your guest. If you invite a lot of people over and you want everyone to be able to have more than one hot dog, you will need to know how to multiply in order to know how much food to buy. Let's quickly review our vocabulary before we get into our lesson. So if you remember, multiplication is a shortcut for repeated addition using an algorithm, which is just a fancy way to say strategy. Factor is a number that is being multiplied. A product is the answer when two factors are multiplied together. Partial products is a way to multiply in which the ones, tens, hundreds are multiplied separately, and then those products are added back together. An expression is a mathematical phrase without an equal sign. An equation is a number sentence that shows two quantities are equal. So remember, equation has an equal sign, an expression does not. All right, let's go ahead and look at our mini lesson. Before we get into lattice method, I want to review multiplication really quickly. So remember that multiplication is just repeated addition. It gives us a shortcut called an algorithm. Remember, that's a fancy way to say strategy. Let's look at a quick example. Bella was setting the table. There are 8 people eating dinner and each person gets 3 utensils, a fork, a knife, and a spoon. How many utensils are on the table? So we could use repeated addition. We could add those 3's 8 times, 3 plus 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 3, but that gets really old after a while, especially when we're using huge numbers. When we're using 2-digit and 4-digit numbers, that gets really exhausting to do. We could also do equal groups. We could do 8 groups with 3 in each group. But again, when we get into large numbers, that gets difficult to do. We could use an array. We could do 8 columns and 3 rows, or we could do a number line where we're counting by 3's 8 times. No matter the strategy we use, we know that Bella is going to need 24 utensils on the table. But when we get into large numbers, like 2-digit and 2-digit, say we're multiplying 99 times 99, right? We don't want to use those strategies. So we're going to look at lattice method, which is a strategy to multiply multi-digit numbers. So just like when you learn to read, you need to know your letters and sounds. It also helps to know your basic multiplication facts to be a fluent mathematician. So we're going to be referencing this times tables quite a lot, and I'm also going to link this multiplication chants and songs for you. So lattice method multiplication is an alternative to standard algorithm. Partial products are calculated by multiplying digits on top of columns and to the right of rows. So our first example, we're going to be looking at a 4-digit by a 1-digit multiplication problem. So let's go ahead and look at our word problem. There are 4 bins of stuffed animals at a toy store. Each bin contains 1,204 stuffed animals. How many stuffed animals are there in all? So 4 bins, and each bin has 1,204 stuffed animals. So we could do repeated addition, or we could do equal groups, but our number is really big. So let's look at a way where we can do that a lot quicker. So we're going to use the lattice method. We're going to start by counting the number of digits in each factor, then drawing a box for each digit. So because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 digits, I'm going to draw a box, one box for each digit. Because I have 4, I need 4 boxes. One factor goes across the top, and the other factor goes down the right side. We're then going to draw diagonal lines through each square from the top right to the bottom left, going all the way through the bottom left. So top right through the bottom left, top right through the bottom left. We're then going to follow each digit down and over. Where 2 digits meet, we're going to write their product in that square. The tens place is written in the top left triangle and the ones place in the bottom right. We're going to continue this for all squares and all pairs of digits. So 4 times 4 would give me 16. I have 1 10, 6 ones. 4 times 0 is 0. I have 0 ones and 0 tens. 4 times 2 is 8. I have 8 ones, 0 tens. 4 times 1 is 4. I have 4 ones, 0 tens. I'm then going to cross out all the digits that I used to multiply. Then I'm going to add the digits in each diagonal, starting with the ones place. If I need to regroup any tens, I'll regroup that in the next diagonal. So this first diagonal represents my ones place, then my tens, then my hundreds, my thousands, my 10,000s. You get the idea. So I'm only adding the digits that are underneath that diagonal. So 6 plus nothing is 6. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 8 is 8. 0 plus 4 is 4. 0 is 0. So we're then going to circle our product and read the number below the diagonals from left to right. So our total product is 4,816. I'm going to link this video for you. It shows you how to do lattice method using blank lined paper and how to draw that yourself. So let's go ahead and look at a lesson for 2-digit by 2-digit lattice method multiplication. The U.S. soccer team was calculating the number of minutes they have practiced to prepare for their big game. If they practiced for 75 minutes a day for 45 days, how many minutes did they practice in all? So we know we're going to be needing to group. We're going to have 45 groups with 75 in each group. So we're going to be multiplying 75 times 45. So we're going to count the number of digits in each factor. I have 1, 2 digits and 1, 2 digits. Then draw a box for each digit. So I'm going to need 2 columns and 2 rows. So 1, 2 columns, 1, 2 rows. One factor goes across the top, the other goes down the right side. We're then going to draw diagonal lines through each square from the top right to the bottom left. We're going to follow each digit down and over. Where 2 digits meet, we're going to write the product in that square. The tens place is written in the top left triangle, and the ones place is written in the bottom right triangle. So let's start with a 5. We're going to multiply this 5 column. So we're going to do 5 times 4 and 5 times 5. 5 times 4 gives me a product of 20. So I have 2 tens, 0 ones. 5 times 5 gives me a product of 25. 2 tens, 5 ones. Now we've multiplied the 5. We're going to multiply the 7. So 7 times 4 and 7 times 5. 7 times 4 gives me a product of 28. 2 tens, 8 ones. 7 times 5 gives me a product of 35. 3 tens, 5 ones. So next we're going to cross out the digits that we multiplied, and we're going to add the digits in each diagonal starting with the ones place. So just like our 4-digit by 1-digit, we have our ones, our tens, our hundreds, our thousands place. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 7. 2 plus 8 is 10. Plus 3 is 13. So I'm going to need to regroup a 10 to my next place. 1 plus 2 is 3. Then going to circle my product and read the number below the diagonals from left to right. So 3,375. I'm also going to link this video for 2 by 2 digit lattice method multiplication to show you how to set up your own lattice problem using blank lined paper. All right, let's do a quick check for understanding before we get to our guided practice. In lattice method, we don't decompose factors. Instead, we only write the what. We only write the digits. So we're not decomposing like we do in area model. We're only writing the factors. Great job today, guys. I will see you in just a minute for guided practice.